can't count the number of times someone close to me has asked, "How are you?" And I just go, "I'm fine," when really I'm not fine. We ask people about their mental health every single day, but it's just scripted chatter to keep our conversations warm. When I say, "I don't want to talk about it," what I really mean is, I'm worried that my vulnerability will be met with judgment. Or, on the other side of the problem, if someone is dealing with something I don't know much about, I worry that I'll say the wrong thing and they'll judge me. We are living through a profound time of mental health crisis. The CDC has reported that in the last 10 years, depression in US adolescents and adults has increased 60%. In the 2023 Youth Risk Behavior Survey, 9.5% of US high school students reported that they attempted suicide in the last 12 months. Perhaps it's no surprise that the younger generations have started turning to AI to help them with their problems instead of getting help from real people. Struggling with our mental health isn't a new problem, it's just gotten worse over time. The longer we continue to exist in a society where talking about mental health is taboo, the worse the crisis will get. All hope isn't lost, though. We're finally entering a time where it's okay to talk about mental health more openly, but we don't quite know how to do it productively. Talking about mental health is uncomfortable. It's an injured muscle we don't quite know how to heal because we don't have any experience healing it. Talking about injured muscles is comfortable and normal, but talking about our fears isn't. I want to offer you the possibility of a world where we feel comfortable saying, "You can talk to me if you want to." What if we helped people learn how to talk by learning how to listen first? I invite you to get more comfortable being a little uncomfortable. In order for you to join me on this journey, you don't have to have solutions to everyone's problems. I sure don't. I'm not a therapist. I hope to be one day, but that's not why I'm standing here now. I'm a psychology student, and I've been fascinated by this topic since I was a kid because I've lived it, just as all of us have. Let me use my story as an example. I have obsessive-compulsive disorder. It affects every part of my life, and I have to deal with it every day, but you wouldn't know unless I bring it up, and for a long time, I rarely ever did. The simplest way I can explain OCD is that I'm afraid of things I can't control. My brain is so determined to achieve that control that it comes up with weird strategies to do it. My brain decides that unrelated if-then statements are actually my unchangeable fate. I burnt my toast this morning, well, that means that my morning is ruined and I'm definitely going to fail my exam later this afternoon. It makes no sense, I know, but my brain doesn't naturally know the difference between those unrelated if-then statements and actual predictable outcomes, so it can cause me a lot of stress. For years, I was too scared to talk to anyone about what I now know are my OCD symptoms because I was worried that they would judge me. I didn't even tell my therapist because I only wanted to tell her about things I thought there were solutions for, like getting into arguments with my sister or feeling anxious about volleyball practice. I was dealing with a phobia of throwing up, intense, intrusive thoughts, and obsessively worrying about the state of my relationships. I didn't know those were OCD. I just thought there was something broken in my brain that I needed to keep a secret so no one thought I was weird. My experience is a very common one. Not everyone has OCD, but do you also sometimes feel like you worry too much? Or surely everyone else is less stressed than you, or that you grieve more than the normal person? Do you feel like it would be weird to talk about those things openly? It's normal to talk about having a toothache or a sprained ankle, but no one seems to want to talk about the gritty parts of mental health. For me, it was because I was scared of judgment. I think all of us are. Eventually, I started opening up about my OCD. In the middle of COVID quarantine, I had a long, late-night phone call with one of my childhood friends. Let's call her Brooke. At approximately hour 3.5, Brooke told me that, do you just think like we're all just thinking too much during quarantine and we don't know how to handle it? And I told her, it's whatever, but sometimes I feel crazy because of how much I worry about stupid stuff, but that's probably normal, right? Brooke told me, you can talk to me if you want to. I decided to take a risk, and I told her everything, all of the TMI details I was too scared to tell anyone else. To my utter shock, Brooke told me that she didn't think I was crazy, and that she also didn't know why I felt that way, but that nothing I told her made her think any differently of me. She also told me it was probably a good idea to talk to a professional about it. So, to my therapist, I went. She kindly explained the clinical terminology around what I was dealing with and that they were all very normal OCD symptoms. And then she taught me some mental tools to use to ease my stress. It was one of the most relieving conversations of my life. I was so scared that I was going to spend my life hiding away the broken parts of my brain when, in reality, everything I was dealing with was very normal. All it took was one open conversation with a friend for me to realize that maybe, just maybe, things weren't as bad as I thought. Brooke showed me that nothing I told her would make her judge me, so I felt safe enough to tell her the things I was too scared to tell anyone else, which led me to get professional help. She suspended her judgment of me long enough to show me she cared. Mental health is uncomfortable, and that's okay. It's okay if you're a little uncomfortable when people tell you about struggles you don't understand. It's okay if it takes time to make those deep connections with people. You don't have to have solutions, you just have to listen. Mental health may not be simple, but the actions we can take to ease each other's pain are. We can all work on being more open with each other. We can all dig deeper. Try it with me. I want to practice having an open conversation with you. Pretend like we're sitting together during our lunch break at work. We're employees at a small marketing company where we work in pretty close quarters. We've been coworkers for some time now, but we've never really been close. Let's say that you notice where I'm normally bubbly and talkative, today I'm quiet and disconnected from conversation. Let's say you ask me something like, "Hey, you doing okay? You're normally more talkative." And I respond with, "Oh, it's nothing, I'm fine." You say, "You can talk to me if you want to." That might sound like it would be uncomfortable to say, but it's simpler than you might think. I invite you to practice with me now. We're gonna do a call and response thing. If you feel comfortable, say to me right now, "You can talk to me if you want to." Ready? And? You can talk to me if you want to. Great. And then I say, "I had a dream that I got accused of breaking our confidentiality rules at work, and now I can't stop having these intense, vivid thoughts about all of the things I could do in real life that would break the rules. What if I slip up in conversation with a bartender later and they call our boss and she fires me? My brain is making me feel like I'm a radio stuck on a loop. It's like, you're gonna break the rules because you're a bad employee. I bet you want to break the rules. You don't know how to keep secrets." It's that over and over again. We may not be close, you and I, but you know that I'm a good employee who's really great at following the rules. So you might say something like, "That doesn't sound like something you would do." I say, "I don't think so either, but I still can't stop thinking about it." I don't know. Thanks for listening to me, though. Are you going to the company party on Friday? If that were a candid conversation, all you had to do was listen. We didn't solve my problem together with the power of a single sentence, but we connected. You didn't leave me to face my problems by myself. Maybe after that conversation, I sought out professional help. If nothing else, you made me feel less alone. We make progress towards solving our mental health crisis every time we let people know that we care and that they can let us in. If we want to live in communities and workplaces that care about our mental health, we have to foster those environments first. The stakes have never been higher, but instead of sitting paralyzed in the face of an enormous problem, we can take action with small, simple steps. I learned how to encourage people to talk to me about what they're dealing with because a friend did it for me, and now I invite you to be that person for others. You can begin right now by inviting people to open up, sitting in their discomfort with them and welcoming it, and putting in the work over time by doing it again and again and again. We all deal with our mental health, so let's start dealing with our mental health together.